Welcome to the podcast that will teach you how to successfully invest in and build steady streams of passive income from the highly lucrative niche of mobile home park investing. Veteran real estate investors Kevin Bupp and Charles Dehart from Mobile Home Park Academy will personally share with you the valuable lessons they've learned along their journey as mobile home park investors, so that you too can learn how to build massive cash flow and huge profits from this extremely lucrative niche. So without further ado, let's welcome your hosts for today's show, Kevin Bupp and Charles Dehart.
Welcome, guys and gals, to the Mobile Home Park Investing Weekly Podcast. We'll provide all the information that you need to know to successfully locate, negotiate, close on, and make huge profits from the lucrative niche of mobile home park investing. I'm your host, Kevin Bupp, along with my co-host and business partner, Charles Dehart. And guys, in addition to Charles, we've got a special guest here today. It's going to be joining us. He is the man of mystery and the third principal of Sunrise Capital Investors, Brian Spear. How are you guys doing today, man? You guys rocking and rolling?
Yeah, happy to be here, Kev. Happy to be here with you and Charles. It's the first time that I've been on with both of you simultaneously, so happy to share some additional insights.
Well, I think Charles and I are glad to have you, Brian. Yeah, I'm sure we probably talked about Brian in the past, and these people, a lot of people are probably wondering, like, who the heck is this Brian guy? Like, he is. What is he all about, right? And so now he's here, he's joining us, and we're going to share some great value with all you guys today. So, but Charles, how you doing, bud? You hanging in there?
I'm doing great, man.
Yeah?
I'm doing great. Yep.
Good. Well, I know that
awesome.
I know all three of us are really excited to be back at this thing. And, we've been away for a number of months. I don't know how many, 6 or 7 months, but we're excited to be back. We're jacked up just to be bringing you guys great value like we've always done in the past, and looking forward to bringing you a ton of great content over the coming weeks and months as we move forward with essentially the relaunch of the Mobile Home Park Investing Podcast. So in addition to that, guys, I want to make a mention real quick before we kind of dive into the topic of today's show. We've got a special gift that we've put together for you guys, and we're going to give you details at the end of the show. So just be sure to listen to the end, and we'll let you know what that gift is and how you can redeem it. So with that being said, guys, let's just go ahead and dive into it, right? And I think what I'd like to do as far as the topic of discussion today is, since it's been a little bit of time since we've done this podcast, is just give everyone just a brief update on both maybe some good personal news and also professional news. And so I'll go ahead and start with it, and I'll let you guys roll with it after I'm done here. So personal good news on my side, lots of great things. My family's healthy. I've got my 2 boys are growing up. We're having a lot of fun together. So the family's doing great. And for those that don't know, I've been going through the nightmare of building a custom home over the last couple of years that finally has taken a turn for the positive, because it's been an absolute horrific experience. And so we're like 3 months away from the finished product. And so that's negative news that turned into positive news. And we're real excited to actually finally move into the place that we've been dreaming of now for the last couple of years. And then, guys, professional news, I'm just going to give you the really quick snippet here. On my side of our business, I'm heavily involved in the acquisitions. And so our pipeline is overflowing. And I kind of joke about it, but literally I need a bigger whiteboard. I went and bought a second whiteboard because the first one's overflowing with deals. And I say that jokingly, but it's really serious. And we've got a lot of deals under contract, lots more coming in the pipeline. And so in a few minutes, after Charles and Brian kind of give you their brief overview, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail with those opportunities that we have live and in contract today, and let you guys know how we came across them, how the deals were sourced, what the opportunity is with the deal, why we're excited about it. And so with that being said, guys, Brian or Charles, one of you guys want to go ahead and next just give them a general overview of what you're going to be speaking about today on the show?
Yeah, I'll go ahead, Kev. First and foremost, personal and professional news. Personally, my family is going to be growing gangbusters, much like our business is growing substantially. My mother has 3 kids, all of whom are now currently engaged. So I just went on the first vacation that I've had in quite some time with my now fiance Leslie, and I'm thrilled over the moon that she did say yes. So kudos, happy about that. In addition, professionally, as Kevin had alluded to, we have just a ton of deals coming through the pipeline, and with that, we're going to be launching Fund 2. With that, we're excited to share this opportunity with you. And obviously, Fund 2 is going to be phenomenal, and we're looking forward to building upon the success that we've had in Fund 1. And we'll go into detail on that in a little bit. So with that, Charles, you want to dive in?
Yeah, so the last 6 months for me, I've gotten both engaged and married. So love seems to be kind of in the air down here in Florida, with Brian also getting engaged. And As far as what I'm going to be talking about in the show is we have just, we've been growing at a very rapid pace, and the need for hiring has been, it's kind of been on all of our minds. So we kind of started the year off with 5 open positions to begin hiring for. Thankfully, we've been able to hire 2 very talented people so far, and we're looking for 3 more talented people to come join us over here and be a part of our team. And then I guess the second thing we're going to touch on is EOS. It's a sort of like a business operating system, if you will. We were kind of turned on to that from a mastermind group that we're all a part of. And it's been very, very good for our business. And it's something we would definitely recommend to you guys if you're in business for yourself, or really it's applicable to anybody who's managing people. So really great system, and really excited to bring that to you guys.
Good deal. And I have to ask both of you guys, are your significant others, are they prepared for what you guys have in store for them? I don't know if they know what they got themselves into.
Poor girls. I can't speak for Rose. Okay. I can't speak. Yeah, poor girls is right. I can't speak for Rose, whom we all love dearly, but I know Les. She's phenomenal. And she kind of has an inkling, I think, of what she's gotten herself into, but we'll find out. We'll find out in the near future, right? As an entrepreneur, our lives are a little bit different than the majority of folks who go do a normal 9 to 5, but life is good.
All right, guys. So I know we're real excited to dive into the meat and potatoes of today's show. But before we get into it, here's a brief word from our show sponsor, Sunrise Capital Investors.
Hey guys, Kevin Bupp here with Sunrise Capital Investors. As you are hopefully already well aware if you've been a listener for any period of time, my goal has always been to provide you with as much value as I possibly can through my 2 podcasts, Real Estate Investing for Cash Flow and the Mobile Home Park Investing Podcast. As our audience continues to grow, literally, we've been downloaded millions of times by folks in over 125 countries. I've had thousands of people reach out looking to get involved in our niche. And that's the phenomenal niche of mobile home park investing. For those that don't know, I've been a full-time real estate investor for nearly 20 years now, and I've personally invested in and have owned apartment complexes, various commercial properties, hundreds of single-family rentals, and I've interviewed some of the most successful investors in just about every other asset class, and I've arrived at this one very simple conclusion. Mobile home parks are hands down the best investment I've found to date. Why? They provide investors with the best risk-adjusted returns out of any other real estate sector that I've seen. Investing in real estate can get complicated, and I really want to simplify this process for you. If you're someone who wants to diversify away from the uncertainty of Wall Street and allocate a percentage of your real estate portfolio to mobile home parks, but maybe you don't have the time nor the inclination to personally locate good deals yourself, then our team will do it for you. At Sunrise Capital Investors, our team specializes in the acquisitions and management of undervalued and highly profitable mobile home parks. And we are now providing accredited investors with an opportunity to participate directly alongside our team in our up-and-coming deals. And let me say this, I believe that we are hands down the best in our space at sourcing highly profitable off-market deals. That's really what makes us unique in this niche and as investment managers. As stewards of your capital, we truly are aligned with our investors. We've structured our investment fund so that we as a company are incentivized in the same way the investor is, which is through the performance of the investment itself. In addition, we want to make sure that we not only make money for our investors, but that they understand how it's being made. That's why we provide our accredited partners with a private monthly podcast that walks them through the detailed updates on how their investment is performing. And we're very transparent, providing you with the good, the bad, and the ugly at times. And so if you'd like to learn more about the partnership opportunities with our team here at Sunrise, please go visit sunrisecapitalinvestors.com and click on the investors link to get signed up. It's absolutely free and you'll get placed on the priority list of when new opportunities come along. Also, feel free to call us at 833-CASH-FLOW without the O. Again, that's 833-CASH-FLOW without the O. And one of our investor relations team members will help you schedule an appointment to speak with one of our managing principals. If you have questions, go ahead and schedule a call and let's get on the phone and talk. And with that, guys, I'd like to leave with one last thought. From the time that I wake up in the morning till the time that I lay my head down the rest of the evening, my number one priority with everything I do, whether it be recording this podcast, working for our investors, helping each of you reach your investment goals, to providing a great experience to each of our residents who reside in our communities, is to add huge amounts of value to everyone that I come in contact with. Now, with that being said, I look forward to the opportunity of bringing value to you through Sunrise and through this podcast. Thank you for your time. Now, let's go ahead and get back to the show.
All right, guys. So let's do this thing. Let me start off, just dive into the deals that we have working, because really the deal flow is kind of the lifeblood at this point of our business. Going into the launch of fund number 2, raising capital, and we've already got a very healthy pipeline with a number of deals in contract. And so just a very 10,000 foot view of each one of the deals that we have rolling today on our pipeline. So first and foremost, the very first deal is called Park West Mobile Home Park. It's in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and we're purchasing that community for $3.3 million. It's 150 lots. There's 124 that are occupied, and the lot rent today in that community is $280. It's city water and sewer. It's already being billed back to the residents. That deal was sourced. It's one of the only on the board, actually, that was sourced through a broker. And so, as you guys know, we're big fans of direct-to-owner marketing. We do a lot of direct mail. We do a lot of cold calling. This is one of those, I like to call it unique, whereas it's not unique for most people in this business because a lot of people rely on brokers, whereas this is somewhat of an anomaly for us that it is a deal that we have through a broker. So that one came through a broker. Real excited about it because there's a lot of opportunity there. There's a lot of opportunity to infill empty lots. So there's a number of empty lots in this community. Make improvements to the infrastructure. So the roads need some improvements. The clubhouse needs some improvements. And there's actually a little bit of a bump in a rent increase that we can do as well here in the near future. So it's a great market. Lots of exciting things going on in town there. We're real excited about that one. I don't know if you guys have anything that you'd like to add to that community, but it's one that we're excited about, and we'll be closing here in the next month and a half. Did you guys have anything else to add to that one?
Yeah, what's really exciting about this deal for me is this is really the first time that we've gotten to work really, really closely with a broker, and we really enjoy working with them. And once you demonstrate a track record, I mean, these broker relationships start to become a lot easier, and we're definitely seeing that in our business. This is a really nice opportunity, and we're really happy to have this one under contract.
Yeah, and that one was unique. I mean, we weren't the only ones in that hunt, and we were going up against a number of larger operators, and we were very professional in how we handled the situation. We had a very direct and open line of communication with that broker, and I think one of the things that helped us get that deal or be, I guess, chosen or selected over the other bidders in that deal was that we were very clear and concise, and we conveyed it very clearly how we arrived at our number. And we kind of had a threshold. We had a ceiling, and we weren't willing to go past it, and we still ended up winning that deal. I know there was one other bidder that was willing to pay a little bit more than we were for it. So having that open line of communication with brokers and not just throwing out an offer and waiting for a response, but actually clearly articulating the offer and how you arrived at your number, and also clearly articulating your experience in this business, right? And what your track record is, and getting them comfortable with you. Because really, your whole goal is to sell the broker, but then the broker has to go sell the owner of the property. So you got to make sure that you provide them with the right ammunition to take back to the owner of the property, the seller. So with that being said, let's move on to the next one. So we've got 2 other communities that we have in contract. They are in Radcliffe, Kentucky. They are 2 side-by-side communities, Yarwood and Homestead mobile home parks. They're actually in the Fort Knox, Kentucky metro, which is just south of Louisville. Those 2 communities together, we're paying $2.2 million for them. It's 195 lots total. There are 141 that are occupied. The lot rent today is $210. It's city water and sewer. It's directly billed, which is a very attractive thing. So we don't have to be involved at all in the billing process. Lots of opportunity there to infill home, to make improvements to the structures themselves, like the clubhouse and the office, to make improvements to the infrastructure of the roads and the general landscape of that community. And I think it's one of those communities that when you go into it, it just looks a little rough around the edges. There's a lot of opportunity there. The revenue is very strong. Collections are strong, but they haven't kept up with it probably for the past 10 years. A very elderly couple, some basic tree trimming and landscaping and new signage. It's going to be a world of difference. It's got a very park-like setting, which I know we're kind of excited about. It can essentially be the nicest community in that marketplace. It's not today, but it surely will be once we're finished with it. The other thing that we need to do there is there's about 10 abandoned homes that are in different states of disrepair. A few of them actually had already been starting to be demoed, and they kind of stopped halfway through. And so we're going to go and immediately remove those 10 abandoned homes. And so a normal turnaround for us, get in, polish it up a little bit, fix the broken pieces of the puzzle, and put them back together. And so we're excited about that one. After that, we've got another community in Lockport, New York, which is in the Buffalo, New York metro. We do own another community up in Buffalo. It's a gorgeous community. This one is about 20 minutes away from our existing community that we own today. This one is being purchased for $3.8 million. It's 148 lots total, 124 that are occupied. Lot rents are a lot higher in this marketplace than the last one I just mentioned in Kentucky. So the lot rents today are $375. City water and sewer, direct build. Again, very attractive when we can get a community that's a direct build back to the residents and we don't have to be involved in that process. Lots of opportunity in this one to raise rent, to do infill in the vacant spots, but also home sales. This is one of those marketplaces where new home sales are a regular occurrence. In fact, this community, as we're buying it, there are 2 brand new double wides that were just brought in right around the $100,000 price point. And I believe one is already sold as of today. So lots of strong buyers in that market to bring new home inventory in and to move it. So you don't have to just rely on old used homes or doing like a rent to own program. There's lots of qualified buyers in this marketplace to move a new home inventory. So Charles, I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to add to that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those special markets where the home sales business, that component of the business can be, very profitable. We own another park that's maybe about 20 minutes away from this one, and we're under contract with a buyer right now on a 1995 double wide, I believe, that we're selling for around $75,000. So, I mean, these homes in these markets, they hold their value really well, and it allows you to build in some profit into a home sales model, which isn't so common in the Southeast markets. So this is a really unique opportunity.
Yeah, and this is a beautiful community as well. It's one of the other things that we should make mention of with this Lockport Mobile Home Park is that it was really built in 3 phases. The very first phase is an all ages community, and I think that consists of about 50 or 60 of the homes, give or take a few. The second phase is a 55 plus phase, and the third phase is a 55 plus phase. And so it's got a large senior component to it, which is attractive to us because it's a very stable tenant base, and the pride of ownership runs rampant, especially in the 55 plus sections of that community. That the last community was just built very recently. The last phase of the community was built very, very recently. And that's where actually a couple of the new homes are sitting here today. So anyway, very excited about that opportunity. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. So the next one is Bellcrest Mobile Home Park. That is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. We are purchasing that community for $2.5 million. There are 157 lots in total. 151 that are occupied. Current lot rent today is very low. It's at $185 a month, city water and sewer. And general cleanup is all that's really needed in this community. It was built back in the early 90s. And so the infrastructure itself is not very old at all. Just really needs a little bit more of a hands-on management. Majority of the homes in this community are tenant owned. There's a small park-owned home component, and probably about 85 to 90% are vinyl sided shingle roofed. And so it's a very nice community, and we're real excited about that one. All right, guys, so let's move on. So that was Bellcrest in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The next one that we are in contract with is called Shawnee Hills Mobile Home Park. That's in Topeka, Kansas. Again, a very exciting market. We are purchasing that community for $2.1 million. It's 110 lots in total. There are 75 occupied. Current lot rent is $327 a month. City water and sewer. It is being billed back. It's basically sub-metered back, so we'll be involved in the billing process in that community. As far as the upside and the opportunity in that community, we're going to infill the empty lots that are there. There are a few vacant park-owned homes that need renovated and essentially either sold or a rent credit program on. But very strong market. Rents are slightly below market there, so we've got some room to run there. It's just a nice community overall. I know Charles and Brian actually recently made a visit there a couple weeks ago and were thrilled about what they saw. Very clean, very well kept, mostly newer age homes, vinyl siding, shingle roofs with just a small component of metal siding, metal roof homes. And so overall, great market, very strong market, and we're excited about that opportunity. And I'll just say this, all but the very first community that I mentioned, all these other ones I mentioned, Topeka, Kansas, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Buffalo, New York, Radcliffe, Kentucky, all these other deals were sourced via direct mail efforts. And so they were sourced internally, no broker involved whatsoever. I want to make it a point to mention that because that's how you find deals in a challenging marketplace like we find ourselves in today. we're in a unique stage of the real estate cycle to where deals are challenging to come across. And it seems like there's always, if it gets into brokers' hands, there's always someone else out there willing to pay a little bit more than you are for it, which drives cap rates down, drives prices up, and you find yourself in a situation where you feel anxious or anxiety and you feel like you need to buy something, you end up overpaying for it. And so this is the way around that, is by going direct to owners. And so in addition to these parks that we have in contract that we're real excited about, we have 4 more parks in the process of getting in the contract. I know 2, I just got some revisions back on the contract today, 2 parks in North Carolina. And then we've got a park in Indiana that we just got a contract submitted on, and also one in Maryland as well. Approved LOIs on all of these, and we're in different stages of the actual purchase and sales agreement process. So with that being said, guys, I think that's really all I have as far as an overview. I just wanted to give you an idea of where we're at. We're real excited, really confident in our deal flow. And with that, Brian, I think I'll pass it on to you.
Thanks, Kevin. And I'll second your sentiment. Everybody in the office is excited about the deals on our big board. I mean, take it with a grain of salt. I'm obviously biased here, but our ability to locate phenomenal off-market deals is really second to none. And that said, I'd like to take a step back here and provide a 10,000-foot view of manufactured housing as a whole. If you're listening to this podcast, the Mobile Home Park Investing Podcast, you likely understand the powerful supply and demand economics in our niche. The performance of the asset class really does speak for itself. I mean, mobile home parks have provided the best return out of any real estate sector since 2004. But I wanted to dig a little bit deeper for our listeners. As stewards of capital, it is absolutely imperative that we have the best data at our disposal. That's why our team recently decided to team up with Green Street Advisors. Green Street compiles data in every real estate sector from both public and private sources, which gives our team the best possible perspective from which to manage the portfolio. And while our team does not have a crystal ball, we feel that a recession is likely at some point within the next few years. The Fed recently raised interest rates for the 7th time since December of 2015, and this recovery has become pretty long in the tooth. With that, our team is often asked if mobile home parks are still a good place to invest, given our current position in the cycle. The stock market itself has become frothy, and within the realm of real estate, manufactured housing is the clear winner. The data backs it up. Mobile home parks are projected to provide the best risk-adjusted returns out of any real estate sector. This takes into account self-storage, apartments, triple net lease properties, student housing, single family rentals, industrial, office, literally every single real estate sector. And mobile home parks also have the highest projected long-term same-store NOI growth out of any real estate sector. It's really just basic supply and demand economics. Demand for affordable housing is gigantic. Supply is stagnant, and it actually shrinks year over year. I was actually just at Park West Mobile Home Park, which Kevin recently discussed. I was doing some on-site due diligence, and on the drive from Oklahoma City to Stillwater, I actually stopped at a parcel that was being developed into a mobile home park. It is only the second new mobile home park in Oklahoma over the past 40 years. That is amazing in and of itself. But what is even more interesting is that the developer is being sued. Why? The NIMBY syndrome, not in my backyard. Local residents in that area, right outside of Edmond, Oklahoma, they don't want a quote-unquote trailer park developed anywhere near them. It's the NIMBY syndrome in its truest sense. The amazing thing is that this community is going to be a 4.5 or 5-star community. The mobile homes themselves are going to be sold for over $100,000. And in that area of the country, that's extremely, extremely expensive for a mobile home park. It will be the nicest mobile home park in all of Oklahoma, and the developer is still being sued. Again, overburdensome regulation is the reason for the gigantic supply and demand imbalance in the marketplace. That leads to an inelastic demand for our product, which provides us with significant pricing power. Ultimately, that's why our niche has the highest long-term same-store NOI growth projections out of any real estate sector. So we know that we're in the right niche. And even within this niche, we are the best at finding great off-market deals. It's our core competency. We go direct to owner for acquisitions. We've talked about it ad nauseum over many years. Kevin's been doing this for the past 20 years.
And we have an enormous competitive advantage in that we've been cultivating relationships with many owners over the entire eastern half of the country for several years. And that strategy has allowed us to generate outsized rates of return even amongst our peers in the industry. Our team has historically moved forward in a crawl, walk, run, sprint strategy, seeking first to prove the concept of the business model, then to scale our operation. Now that we've proved the business model, we're looking to scale in a more significant manner, and we're currently bringing aboard additional talent that is going to help facilitate our growth. I believe that Charles wanted to touch on this topic. So, Charles, if you would like, feel free to grab the ball and run with it.
The thing that I want to get into a deeper discussion about is about two topics, really. It's about hiring. So our need for hiring and our need for hiring really talented and great team members. And then I also want to talk a little bit about EOS and make a recommendation of sort of some books that you guys can maybe go check out and learn about it for yourselves. One of the first things that we did coming into this year is we got together and really worked very diligently on sort of shaping our company's core values and defining our company's culture and building an accountability chart that is sort of structured in the right way to actually go after all of the opportunities that we are seeing these days in the marketplace. To kind of piggyback on what Kevin went through is we've got basically 7 deals under contract right now, which represents about $14 to $15 million of real estate. In addition to that, we've got 4 more that are really, really close on the contract writing process, and about 12 more that are going through negotiation. So, in a 6-month period of time, our marketing efforts produced just a plethora of deals. And in order to take those deals down, in order to sort of go into this hyper growth mode for our company is we really need to hire people, and we need to have the right systems, process, and structure in place with which everyone can work together in. And that's sort of what for the last 6 months is we've been really working hard on that and working hard to really identify the skill sets and the types of people that we want to bring in here. And it's been quite fun, quite eye-opening, and it's something that we're really excited to be doing now at this point. So with that, I mean, we're not quite ready yet to bring in all of the positions, but we've identified a need for 5 positions in our company, to be hired this year. 2 of which have already been filled, and we're going to be looking to the podcast to start our recruitment effort for the last 3 that we need to hire this year. We'll have some more details on that a little bit later, probably next show or the show after. But we're putting the final pieces in place for that hiring process. And the second thing really is about EOS, and it's been something that's been, I would say, it's fast tracked our business to getting on the right track to take advantage of the incredible opportunity of growth that we have as a company. And I would recommend that to anybody who manages employees in their day-to-day work, or who runs a company, or anyone who's planning to start a company. I mean, it's a perfect book for any 3 of those types of people. So the book I want to recommend, it's called Traction. It's kind of the first step in the EOS process. It's written by Gino Wickman, and he's got some co-authors on some of his other books. I think he's got 5 or 6 books that are out now, but Traction is really the starting point. And the book kind of guides you to other books, so you'll always know where to go. But basically, the overall idea of EOS is Gino Wickman. I don't know how long it took him to put this together, but he essentially went to all of the best business books that I'm sure many of you guys have heard about. Anything, Simon Sinek obviously is a great anthropologist and has written a lot of books and was the inspiration for a lot of the core values and company culture part of Gino Wickman's teachings. And E-Myth Revisited was definitely mentioned a number of times. 1 Minute Manager is referenced a number of times. So he basically combined all of these great business books that I think a lot of people have heard about and sort of developed a plug and play operating system with which to essentially start a company with. And it's a really great book and a lot of really great material. And, it's really helped our business out a lot. So that's pretty much all I've got on EOS. I mean, we'll probably expand on that a little bit later on in future episodes, but if you get a chance to go check it out, I would definitely go check it out.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Charles. I mean, you make some great points there. And I'll just leave it with this. I'm super excited about many different things. We are as a company here. I mean, I'm super excited about the future of our company here at Sunrise, but also the industry as a whole. There's a lot of opportunity out there, lots of opportunity for you guys to get out there and fill your own pipeline, right? Get deals that have a lot of value add opportunity there. So it's all about just taking action. I'm excited to help each and every one of you guys find that success, right? I mean, that's what we're here for. I mean, that's why we do this podcast. We really enjoy giving back and helping others. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be taking an hour out of our day each and every week. It takes time for us to put this together, but we really, truly enjoy it. From the bottom of our hearts, we like helping other folks get into this business, and not just get into it, but actually find success in this business. And then lastly, I'm excited. I know, Charles, you're excited to have Brian join us on the show. He's not going to be here every week, but he's a wealth of information. He's got a ton of knowledge trapped in that brain of his, and I'm excited to work really hard to extract all that information out here in future episodes. So it's the three of us. It's the three musketeers here making the magic happen behind the scenes. And you guys have heard from Charles and I a good bit, so I'm excited to actually bring Brian into the mix as well. And so, guys, Absolutely. Do you have anything else before we want to wrap it up and say goodbye?
No, I'm good, Kev. Just want to reiterate your point. I mean, I couldn't be more happy and thrilled to be on the podcast. I've been behind the scenes now for several years. I've interacted with thousands of folks. But in any event, it's nice to be on the podcast and actually kind of put a voice to a name, if you will. With that, I'll let you go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, I guess probably the last thing I want to mention, I mean, we want to bring the best content to you guys. And I would say if you've got a show idea, just email it to mobilehomeparkacademy@gmail.com. That kind of helps us drive the idea factory on what you guys want to hear about. And it also allows us to prioritize which content to get out to you guys first. I mean, if I've got people that want, they want to learn how to build a database and do marketing, then obviously that's going to be the next show that we do. So if you guys have an interest in any particular topic, then please try to reach out to us and let us know what that is, so that we can get you guys the best content that we can.
Yeah, good deal, guys. Well, I think that's all we have then for today's episode. Brian, Charles, really appreciate your time, and again, just excited to be back here again, man. It feels good. It feels exciting. So, guys, I mentioned about the free gift. In the very beginning, I mentioned we were going to give you guys a free gift, and it's it's a great gift. I mean, it's bigger than anything we've given away before. And next week, we'll actually be providing the details on how you can actually obtain the gift. And that gift is the on-site due diligence training video from our live due diligence bootcamp that we hosted last October. And I'll tell you that folks paid $1,000, $997, so nearly $1,000 to attend this. And as a gift to you, we've decided to make this available with no strings attached whatsoever, just as a thank you for being loyal listeners and for sticking with us. This training video, it's nearly 2 hours in length, so it's not some hokey, 5 or 10 minute, quick overview of due diligence. I mean, it's 2 hours in length and takes place on site at a community that we own here today, own in Central Florida. If you want to step into our shoes and walk with us through the on-site due diligence process of a mobile home park and how we look at it and how we identify CapEx projects and what we intend to do to turn around that deal or that opportunity, then you surely don't want to miss out on getting this 2 hour long due diligence video. So be sure to tune into next week's show, and we'll provide you with details on how you can obtain your free video. Now, also, I don't want you to forget about the cold call script. So we've been giving a free gift away now for a couple of years, and that's the cold call script that we use in our very own business. And we give that to folks who take the time to go to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating and review. And it's the exact cold call script that we use in our very own business today. What you need to do is just shoot an email to gift@mobilehomeparkacademy.com. Just tell us who you are and what screen name that you use to leave the review in iTunes, and we'll shoot that free gift right over to you. Also, be sure to stop by the Mobile Home Park Academy website at mobilehomeparkacademy.com. You can listen to all the previous podcast shows, as well as download a copy of our free ebook, The 21 Biggest Mistakes Investors Make When Purchasing Their First Mobile Home Park and How to Avoid Them. It's absolutely a required read, whether you just buying your first park or you own a few parks today. I'm sure you can take away tens of thousands of dollars of value from that free book that we put together. So with that being said, I want to thank you again for stopping by and joining us here at the Mobile Home Park Investing Podcast. And as always, it's been a pleasure serving you. Take care.
Congratulations for taking the necessary steps to achieving massive success through the highly lucrative niche of mobile home park investing. Be sure to visit our website, mobilehomeparkacademy.com, to download your free digital ebook version of the 21 biggest mistakes investors make when buying their first mobile home park and how you can avoid them. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe to our free monthly mobile home park investing newsletter, which is jammed full of valuable tips, tricks, and strategies to help you accelerate your path to success as a mobile home park investor. More information about this podcast and its hosts can be found by visiting mobilehomeparkacademy.com.